Cancer. This reading is for anyone who identifies with the Cancerian energy at this time. So, Cancer suns, moons, risings. If your North Node or Midheaven or Venus is in Cancer, anyone who identifies with Cancer during the end of May 2018, specifically May 17th now, May 17th through May 31st. You are showing up as the Page of Cups, Cancer. I would venture to say this message is for someone who has an active dream life at this time, and or has a message of love for someone else, or for someone's, maybe for many people. Maybe it's a message of love that is inspired by your dreams or directly from your dreams. So that is your energy coming into the second half of May. You may be feeling, this is almost silly to say in a Cancer reading, but you may be feeling extra sensitive at this time, very aware, heightened awareness of your dreams, your emotions. And if you're feeling extra sensitive about the world's struggles, to other people's energies, you're probably extra sensitive then to all things at this time. So you're going to be sensitive to maybe substances if you plan on drinking during the end of May, or partaking in anything, any substance for that matter. You may be feeling extra sensitive about yourself, your own pursuits. Again, dreams, wishes, desires. You may be feeling a little timid, a little hesitant to share how emotional you're feeling or what's in your heart, because you're going to be sensitive to other people's reactions. Maybe you have this artwork that you'd like to share, and that's your message of love for other people, but you're feeling sensitive about what they might say. And then the Page of Pentacles shows up. So Page of Cups and Page of Pentacles, you definitely have a message of some sort to share. Whomever this reading applies to specifically has a message to offer. A message of love, a message of security. And the Page of Pentacles is also a scholar, a student, so it's as if you have some sort of message of love, maybe a work to share with someone or someone's, and you need to learn, you're met with the need to learn a little bit more about how to share it. And then your first major arcana coming up is the Judgment, the Judgment card reversed. So when your ego is quiet, You are having trouble forgiving yourself for something. Maybe that's what your message of love is about. This could be saying that the querent is having trouble forgiving themselves for something, and they want to offer a message of love and apology to maybe themselves or to whomever they've wronged, so that they can get out of their own mind and guilt and forgive themselves then. And then the Page of Pentacles would be saying, that you need to perhaps learn about how to deliver that message, learn how you might deliver that message. It's also a message of security. So if I had this laid out like a Celtic cross, and this is you, this is what's crossing you, they have their backs to one another. Maybe one and the same messenger, but with different types of messages. So it could be that you have a message of love to offer to someone or someone's, in the form of some type of artwork, an actual piece of artwork or work that you do that is like an art, even a healing art form, some type of healing or some type of artistic work in some sense that offers a message to people. And you want it to be a message of love, but maybe you also need it to be a message of security. So it could be that you want to offer this work from your heart, but it needs to provide you with some financial security as well. It could be that you have this is definitely for some cancers, that you have an offer, a message, an offer of love for someone, but they need to hear a message of security. So you're telling someone, I love you so much, you're the love of my life, I would do anything, but they want to hear what's tangible. How are you going to show me? What are you going to do? Are we in a committed relationship now, or how are you going to make this real? Bring this from the watery, emotional realm into the physical, tangible, earthly, 3D, here and now. Another twist on it, which also feels very true to me, is that you have a message of love or some work or artwork that offers love to people or a person, and you're being met with a message of security in return. So maybe you are sharing some type of healing art form with others, and you're being met with financial security and the opportunity to learn more about your craft as you're doing that, as you're sharing your message. I have cold chills with that one. I think that feels very true. And I just keep going back over these two pages because I'm not sure how our major arcana, the Judgment in reverse, fits in. That always normally speaks up as someone having trouble forgiving themselves, being lost in their mind and their guilt for me. Of course, all of these beautiful cards can mean so many, many things. We love that. Oh my, page, page, page. Wow. And this is, I want to say, I feel led to say there is an important message in this spread. And this is the root of the situation. Or, well, this is in the past. Yeah, this is the distant past. We're going to do the root, and the more recent past, and then we're going to move into your future. So okay, I think you are the messenger in this spread, in this reading. I think this message is mostly for a querent who feels that they are the messenger here. And in the past, in the root of the situation, clear back to your childhood, perhaps. This could have been long ago, or maybe not so long ago, but it's the root, the foundation of this situation that's unfolding at the end of May for you. In the root of the situation, you were inspired. Especially if you were a youthful, feminine energy, if that makes sense. And when you were originally inspired to share this message, to start this project, this inspired project that you believed in, you were very enthusiastic about it. Very fiery about it. Or a fiery, youthful, feminine energy shared their message, their artwork with you in the foundation of this situation, and that is what's inspired your message, your art. Again, cold chills with that one. I think that's just as true. So I want to say it could have been, it's probably someone really close to you. A very good friend, a sister, a family member of some kind, maybe your mother. Because it's someone, when I see page, 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 if it's not you in your root, it's someone that you've then come to model yourself after in some way. I'd say a lot of what you learned from this fiery, youthful Page of Wands was a lot of what you admired or noticed was their ingenuity. See, in this deck, in the Deviant Moon Tarot, she has, crafted these stilts to help her get across this ice here. And is even brazen enough to look back. And the ice is cracking down there. But she's making things happen. And showing bravery. And so whether that was you from the past or someone else, those are the qualities you've taken from that person, from the old you, from the you that originally had this idea, this project, this inspired project idea. Oh, and I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. I glanced up and I saw I had a message and I completely lost my train of thought. So yeah, it's either a version of yourself, and that's the part of you that you've brought with you as this project has evolved. You're really excited and really enthusiastic, but you're not as fiery as you once were. You're easing into your emotions and thinking about how you can help other people with it, and how you can secure your future and your present and your finances maybe with it, and make it a real work as well as an expression from your heart. But so yeah, those are the qualities you're either taking from that other person or from this older version of you. I really do think though that it's was like a mentor again, maybe friend, mother, someone who, for example, maybe a really good friend who may as well have been a sister, roommate or something, started their own business, and you admired the skills that they showed while they accomplished that. You watched as they turned a profit after a few years, and you thought, wow, now that I've seen you do that, just jump on a couple of sticks and brave your way across this cracking ice. Well, now I think I could pick up a pair of sticks and do it too. And perhaps they're a fire sign, or just someone with more enthusiastic energy than you. Actually, that's coming through pretty clearly. This is someone who, again, whether it's you in your youth or just someone else, a friend, this is someone who is very peppy, okay? They're very, hi, oh my God, how are you? Have you heard about this new thing that I'm doing? You know, they're very enthusiastic's the best word, but they're just very excited. They just seem to have way too much energy. And when do they sleep? And so your message maybe isn't quite like that. Your work, your business venture, if that's what if you're going to do, isn't going to be quite like theirs. Okay, so you're bringing a different energy to it. Or your energy has changed if it's you in the past. You're bringing a slightly different energy to it. You're watery, you're timid, you're shy, you're sensitive. You have a message of love. And you've got to take that water and make some mud, because you're going to have to mix that with your practicality, your stammering, because this is sort of sounding almost a little too much like Taurus is reading. And I am a Taurus sun and a Cancer rising, so I would hate to just be twisting this to be about myself, right? But I don't think that's the case at all. Things that run through your head that you ought not express out loud. The Page of Pentacles, though, that's it. So I think it could be another entrepreneur. Perhaps a friend inspired you, and now you're sharing your message with people or a person, and I think it's people, and yet another business venturer steps in and says, oh, but these are the angles that you didn't consider. How much money you could make, how you could create something stable long term. You can make sure that this is something you can still do in the future. Again, if it's a business, it could just be a work of art, a hobby. But with these pages in a row, messenger, I'm just led to think that it is a project. It is. This is an inspired project, whether it pays or not. It's an inspired project. You were inspired in the root of the situation. You found how that message connects to and comes from your heart and is a dream of yours and a dream you'd like to share in the present. And in the near future, sometime during the end of this month, you're meeting, whether it's in the form of a person or not, the need or the desire to transform that message, that project yet again, and make it something secure. Maybe if it's hasn't been something that you could make money doing or were making money doing, maybe it can be now. And then, in your more recent past, the Queen of Wands reversed after the Page of Wands. Now, the Queen of Wands reversed, she can be a little off her rocker. Not always, it just depends. But you are headed toward stability, security. If there's a balance to be had here, as always, right? So this is the Ten of Pentacles in the Deviant Moon Tarot, and you can't ignore the little boy under the table holding the whole chessboard up, who doesn't seem to be as happy of spirits as the two playing at the table. And he seems to have one of their chess pieces there. Nonetheless, the Ten of Pentacles is security, comfort, getting that raise you wanted, mastering that skill you've been working on, earning something that you know you worked for it. Wealth, tangible, earthly wealth, is often associated with, related to, connected with, intertwined with money, yes, but everybody's definition of wealth is different. You know, if somebody walked in the door and said, hey, here's a few $100 you can have, I would be doing a happy dance for days at this point in my life right now. But for other people, that would need to be in the tens of thousands for it to make any difference. You know what I mean? So everybody's definition of wealth is different. So this doesn't mean you're going to get rich by the end of the month. But my cold chills just said, no, they're going to get rich by the end of the month. In the sense of like winning the lottery or getting that $100,000 a year job or what have you. It's not necessarily that, but you will feel rich. You will feel rich. And so I feel like telling you that if there is a Page of Pentacles in your environment right now trying to advise you on how you can take this inspired project that you love, that is coming from your heart, maybe also coming from your dreams, how you can take that message, that project, and mold it into something that can also secure a future for you. If there's someone offering you advice about that, I'm not just going to say take it, but consider it. And what's missing from this picture is the Four of Swords upright. This is the hidden aspect, the unseen element from the reading. And I am going to pull clarifiers for you as well. For us, the Four of Swords says you might want to meditate on this. Do some restful contemplation. Make sure in that restful contemplation to show gratitude for all you already have. If you find yourself getting lost in your thoughts about what to do with this project, how can I or should I turn this this thing from my this project and message from my heart into something that I make money off of. That's certainly something that I grappled with for a long time. This is for the Four of Swords. So yeah, you definitely just need to go within to consider any advice that you are getting from, if this is a business venture, other entrepreneurs, other messages that are coming in about what's important to you right now. Any influences any influences in your environment, your recent past that, you're not sure about. It sounds like a good idea, but is it me? Maybe there's a reason that I went into this explanation of, if a friend of yours from the past started a business and they inspired you to start your own, maybe yours just won't look like theirs because they're a fiery energy and you're a watery one. Like along those lines. Like, you have to turn to you for those answers. What do you want this message to sound like? What do you want this project to turn out to be? What do you, what is important to you here? How much do you think you should charge for your services? Because that's the only connection I have made finally a couple connections with the Judgment in reverse and the Queen of Wands in reverse. Go figure. I just don't want to understand the things that are showing up in reverse. But the Judgment card in reverse is saying, I think that you are lost in your mind about whether or not to charge money for this art, this message of love, this project. And you might be feeling a little guilty even for even considering it. And what I can tell you right now about my healing art project that is a message that I wanted to share. Just make the offer. Just make the offer. Just put the message, the artwork, your work, whatever it is you'd like to share, just put it out there. As far as feeling guilty for asking for a return, especially a monetary one, if you're not in that place yet, then don't borrow trouble. You're not there yet. If you are, the exhibit's this weekend and we're charging tickets and I feel weird about it. The conclusion I came to with my work was, what's going to get to a point where I will not be able to afford to continue doing it if I don't make something doing it. And that's what it came to. And that's how I decided I felt all right about asking for a little something for it. So that I may grow, so that I may learn and know more, so that I may have more to give. I keep that on my wall all the time to remind me, anytime, not just this project, but anything I'm doing. Why am I doing this? What am I doing? Do I have a right to be doing this? Do I know enough to be doing this? I'm doing it so that I may know more, so that I may have more to share. And so if this is an expression of love, a message of love, a project from your heart, lead yourself through it that way in your restful contemplation, which I believe is going to offer you the clarity and the confidence that you need to move forward, regardless of what I or any other reader has to say to you. Going within. And that can be so hard if you watch reader after reader or video, movie, documentary after whatever, after video after video. You feel connected when you're listening to someone else talk about their experiences, right? You feel connected when you listen to a reader tell you about what you're going through. But then when you go and you sit alone and go within, at first, you almost feel less connected. There isn't another person dialoguing with you, or isn't, not that this is necessarily a dialogue per se, but there isn't someone else in it with you. And I think that, that's why a lot of cultures that practice meditation on a grander scale than we tend to here in America do it in groups. That's why people have, let's do a yoga session, let's do a meditation session, let's all get together. Because it can feel like you're not connected, or you need, or in this culture especially, you can come to feel like, what is everybody else doing right now though? But even if you know, restful contemplation, you don't have to label it meditation. Sit down and stare for 5 minutes and think about it. Just breathe. Just breathe deeply. Just breathe deeply on it for 5 minutes. It can be right before you go to bed, right when you wake up, while you're taking your shower. The next time, this is something that works for me, and we're running out of time. What does this say? 29 minutes. Oh, I'm running out of time. The next time your radio doesn't work, or your phone, you're wanting to listen to this song while you get your bath or your shower, but oh god, and of course the phone's dead right now, and where's the charger? The next time that it's inconvenient for you to entertain yourself with an outside source, the phone's dead, the television's acting up, whatever it is, and you find yourself in a quiet space, instead of struggling against that quiet space, instead of getting frustrated or determined to solve the lack of entertainment in your life, let the silence be. Take that as a sign. Take that as a moment in the multiverse where the powers that be, whatever you anchor yourself with, have suggested that you need some peace and quiet right this minute, right? And I'm not saying, if it's a work project or something and the teleprompter's not working, to just say, oh, well, I guess we all need to take a moment of meditation right now. Although that would probably be great too. But yeah, no, just, again, when the radio's not working, when the phone's dead, when you missed the show you wanted to watch, take it as a sign that you need a moment of restful contemplation. Because I do think there's clarity there, and I do think there's clarity there, and it might be clarity about whatever guilt you're feeling, whatever you're having trouble forgiving yourself for, maybe, and it might be clarity about this Queen of Wands in the reverse, who's in your recent past. Let's get a clarifier on her. It looks like, since the Page of Wands is in your distant past, and this is a youthful feminine energy, particularly in this deck, it looks like the Queen of Wands then is someone who in the more recent past is the same person, the same character, but who in the more recent past has been less reliable than she once was. I don't want to call her crazy, but less reliable is because I think of her as someone who can be a little flaky. She can also be someone who loves the spotlight. So it may be that while you were once inspired by this Page of Wands, more recently that individual has shown you shades of a crazier color. Not that they're, I said off, well, my initial reaction was she can be a little off her rocker, but I'm saying it in, I'm trying to downplay it. I'm saying it in a, I'm not sure what term I want to use here, but I'm saying it like that, off her rocker, to sound a little, so that it's not taken so seriously, because I'm not sure that she's, crazy. But just maybe her ideas, where they were once inspiring to you, don't seem a little crazy to you now. That's off the wall. That's too far out there. And you are not, well, I don't know if you are the Page of Wands in this reading or not, but if you are not, if this person who inspired this project is not you, then just remember that you don't have to be them. You can, for example, a friend of mine the reason I use the business example, a friend of mine started a, okay, so the devil card shows up as her clarifier. I'm not sure how to give it a little bit of space here. This might be maybe someone who's acting crazy because of an addiction or a codependency with another person. But you are not them, okay? So my friend started a business selling food, selling meat. I'm a vegan. Selling, and I worked for her. I believed in her mission when she first started. She was starting a small business because she believed that small businesses could save our economy and thus, consequently, ultimately, the planet. We used to have many how can we save the world conversations, keeping in mind that we were having like a super lady complex and just spitballing ideas, but we were really coming from a place of we want to act in this world with purpose, okay? And so that's where she started. And it's, it's been years, and it's been years since, and she has turned a profit. And I don't work for her anymore. And I was honest about the fact that, if I was going to get really into it with her, the business, I would want there to be vegan options and vegetarian options and et cetera, et cetera. Although I don't work for her anymore, she does have some vegetarian options. I'm not really sure where this Three of Pentacles is going. So, we mutually inspired each other there, I guess, in that sense. But I am not her. So, right. So while I may have seen the journey she went on and thought, wow, I could go on a journey quite similar to that, I certainly was not going to choose to sell meat as a vegetarian or vegan. So I just took, the general idea of starting your own thing, the way she did it. Again, the bravery to grab a couple sticks and just try to make it across this ice that's splitting is what it seemed like to me watching her do that. You're gonna go broke. What are you doing for money? And we all have different answers to that question. Sometimes friends, sometimes family, sometimes odd jobs. We all have different answers to the money question. But so if this person seems crazy now, where they inspired you to begin with and you wish you could continue to model yourself after them, but their ideas are just off the wall now, you don't have to be them. You don't have to do what they're doing. You don't have to do it the way that they're doing it. You can continue to live off that fiery energy and inspiration. It's still beautiful that you're sharing your message, you're sharing your art, you're starting your business, whatever it is that you are expressing from your heart. It doesn't look the same as theirs. This could also be a situation where where this person, again, like I said, became addicted to something, became a slave to something. And in your more recent past, you see that. Like, oh, they're all about the money now. They're all about the profit. They've forgotten what I thought inspired them. Or it's a codependent situation. They're leaving their message because they're worried about their relationship, their significant other, perhaps. And that addiction, whether it's to a person or a substance, is taking them out of this work. It could also be that this is a love interest of yours from the recent past. If there's a fiery female in your recent past that you feel very much addicted to and were very much recently in a codependent situation with, it could be them. And they could still be the person who inspired your project. Just get a clarifier on the Three of Pentacles now that it's out here. The Three of Pentacles is work that you love doing. It felt natural to put it here next to the Ten of Pentacles because I think that's exactly what's going to lead you or any of us to a Ten of Pentacles situation, is doing work that we love doing so much that we don't notice the time passing. And you want this Queen of Wands to be part of that picture. I see. So whether it's your mother, your sister, your friend, an ex-lover, and it could still be a man, and this is just showing their feminine, fiery aspect. Maybe their moon is a fire sign, and so, you know, their fiery aspects are their feminine aspects. But you want them to be part of your Ten of Pentacles picture. Let's get a clarifier on the Judgment card, and then this can't go on too much longer, unfortunately. Where are we at? 39 minutes. Oh, this is longer than Taurus's. Okay, let's get a clarifier on the Judgment card. Another possibility, it could be that the Queen of Wands is the Page of Wands and the Page of Pentacles in this scenario. She inspired you. You have a message of love for her, and she's saying, I need security, though. And that's why in the recent past, she hasn't been there. Or she isn't there. She's in reverse. Again, I have to point you toward restful contemplation and meditation to achieve clarity and confidence to move forward. Because I think what you're going to realize is that you are already truly happy. You are already truly accomplished. You're going to realize your own greatness. You just have to go within to get there. Because from looking at this spread, she very well could be something you're addicted to and something that you're codependent with. Someone who, you know, either is a little crazy or makes you a little crazy, or both. And you really want to bring her energy, her passion, her beauty, her vitality, her intensity into this picture with you. But you have to consider that she comes with a fiery temperament. It's not always a good thing. And that she might be an addiction, a codependency of yours. Now, that doesn't mean she can't be part of your Ten of Pentacles, or he or she. It doesn't mean that this person, this energy can't be part of your Ten of Pentacles future. Two people can be in a codependency and they can address it and go on to stay together. I haven't done it, but I'm sure it's true. Oh, wow. Okay, so the Page of Pentacles is bordering. We've got Page of Pentacles on either side of the Judgment card in reverse now. So yeah, I think it is exactly what I said. It is considering the financial aspects of the situation that is making you feel guilty, lost in your mind. But you can be a student. You can be learning and earning. You can be an artist, a teacher, a healer, someone with a message and something, some work from their heart that they mean to share with love, and still be learning your craft. We all are. That's phrased incorrectly. It's not just that you can be, you are. Any guru, any teacher, any healer, anybody who says, I'm done learning, well then no one needs to learn from you, right? We don't stop. We don't stop growing. We don't stop learning. We never stop. So if you're going to say, well, I shouldn't be asking for money for this thing yet because I'm not sure if I'm ready, I'm still a student, but you're never going to be ready. Or you're going to reach a place where you start pretending that you've learned everything you need to know, and that's scary and ill, honestly. It's ill. And I think for some of you, it's the same struggle that I went through before I started asking for compensation for tarot readings. I think for a lot of you, it's a matter of, this is something, let's say it's painting, just to take it in a different direction. This is something that I do to put beauty in the world. And I'm going to put a price tag on it? It's not the kind of world I want to live in. It's not the type of life I want to lead. It's not the kind of person I want to be. How can I put a price tag on this expression of love from my heart? And to that, I would say, I'd like to evolve to a place where I don't have to eat food. Personally, I don't understand why it's 2018 and we haven't evolved to absorb the nutrients we need from our environment, and why I have to stop. I'm hungry right now. Why I have to stop 3 times a day. 3 times a day. As a vegan, it's like 13 times a day. Why I have to stop when I'm doing all the time and be an eater. I basically am an eater. I'm not a tarot reader. I'm not a student. I'm an eater. It just seems like I'd like to not have to stop to consume or dispel, or any of that. You don't want to have to ask for compensation for your art. I don't want to have to. Yeah, it would be a nice world if we didn't have to ask for compensation for those things, because we didn't need to pay to put a roof over our head. We didn't need to, and maybe some of you don't have to pay for that. Maybe you can build your own little man-made island, and I'm jealous. And I'm working on it. But you live in a world that requires you to pay your way. Most of us here in America right now, or in most places in the world right now. And you live in a body and a vessel that requires food and, along with other things, sleep, which is going to mean a bed to rest your head in, food, water, etc. So you have to meet your basic needs so that you may continue to grow, so that you may learn more and know more to give more. You think that this expression from your heart, this painting, this exhibit, this hobby, this business, you think you have something to offer from your heart now, would just wait. You go ahead and let them give back to you. And you keep learning and growing. And don't let your body waste away. You have to feed yourself. You have to water yourself. You go ahead and take what they're giving back to you. You keep nourishing yourself with it. Keep growing. And you just wait and see what you have to share. In that way, we really are all one. You nourish yourself so that you can give to them and keep nourishing them, and you let them give back to you. And that can be the trickiest part. As a Cancer, as a water sign, as an artist, as a healer, that can be the trickiest part. We want to give and give and give and give. We have to let them give us something back so that we can give again next week, tomorrow, right? And the 5 of Cups showing up in reverse, I'm not sure exactly how it fits in, but this often reminds me, do not leave behind more than you lost. So perhaps that fits in for you somewhere. And we're going on an hour now, so I'm going to have to leave it at that. If you would like a personal tarot reading from me, you can contact me at lunarticstarot@gmail.com. If you're more interested in another general spread, I will be back hopefully very soon with another one for June, and it will be a longer spread. Clarifiers again. I'll pull an advice card from the Dreams of Gaia tarot for you. Actually, Now that I say that, how can I leave you without an advice card? I'm going to have to. I guess don't leave behind more than you lost is the advice in this situation. And I don't exactly know how it fits in, but I hope that it applies to some of you. Please let me know. Comment, like, share, subscribe. I'd love to understand more how this spread, what's going on in the spread. Healing. Healing is your advice card. So, I definitely believe that this message is for some healers, some whose heart expression, their message of love is about healing other people. And in that case, I'm sure you know that that process will continue to heal you as well. And that's very similar. That's very similar to what I was saying about, you have to allow them to give back to you so that you have more than to give to them. So I'm going to read a little bit about that healing card out of the Dreams of Gaia tarot book, this beautiful book that it comes with, as I am still learning, getting to know this tarot deck, and it is a little different. I definitely think of it as a tarot deck, rather, but I'm using it sort of as an oracle deck, just while I get to know it, and because it has 81 cards. So, and the major arcana split up into different groups, but it is. I've been reading tarot cards for years and years and years, and have had many, many different decks. It is beautiful. Yes, it's not exactly traditional with the 81 cards and the major arcana being broken up, but it is beautiful, beautiful, and I can't wait to just continue to get to know it better. And this is the Deviant Moon Tarot. This is the Radiant White Rider-Waite. I'm sure, respect for the Rider-Waite just continues on, doesn't it? And then the Deviant Moon Tarot, I just want to say about it, it's so honest. It's so honest. I can't stop. It's my main squeeze right now, and I can't stop using it. It has been for a couple months now. It's so honest. Okay, so the healing card, your advice card. Release, purification, forgiveness, transformation, infection. Now it's probably as a blockage when it's reversed. The healing card illustrates our third reason for being in this tarot deck. However, it covers healing on several levels and does not necessarily suggest or imply that you are wounded or in need of healing, at least not on a conscious level. A happy, safe, and peaceful life does not always accord us with perfect health and well-being. Every person is vulnerable to disease, whether it manifests in physical, mental, or emotional stress, or as a feeling of emptiness and longing that is born of spiritual wounds. Humans are a part of a hierarchical race. Oh goodness. We have a social order with the elite and wealthy at the top. Hierarchical. Humans are a part of a hierarchical race. I feel like right now I'm going to have to edit this video because of this. And the uneducated and poor are at the bottom. We are a species that is driven to win, with each of us striving to do better, to be better than the generation that came before. Those at the top want to stay there, and those at the bottom want to reach the top. We are goal-oriented. And maybe that's exactly what you are too aware of. You're so aware of that, and you don't want to contribute to it, and that's why you're questioning, should I ask for money for this healing art that I love to do? Hey, if you can avoid it, okay, don't. But unless you have just an extremely wealthy family, and there's nothing wrong with that, you're very lucky in that case. But otherwise, I'm going to need you to please share with me how you managed to do that. Most likely, if this is the work you're going to do, you're going to have to ask for some compensation just so that you can afford to keep doing it. Most of us believe that success moves us forward and failure sets us back. We are on a perpetual quest to improve, whether it be our social standing, quality of life, or a simple desire to be a better person. We must be better. We must do better. But what is better? In our quest for betterment, are we making ourselves ill? In the simplest terms, we often see success and failure in the same light as we do life and death. To succeed is to live, to fail is to die, or worse still, to descend into poverty, mediocrity, and obscurity. We become fixated on being the best, succeeding at all we do, and yet we may still fail to thrive. We may find we are not happy. We may find we are not healthy. Sometimes we find that even when we do not accomplish our goals and are rewarded with wealth and prosperity, we are not satisfied. Sometimes we find that even when we do accomplish our goals and are rewarded with wealth and prosperity, we are not satisfied and crave more. Are we enduring and doing only what needs to be done in order to survive? Are we so fixated on acquiring possessions that we have forgotten that happiness and well-being begin within us? Are we truly living? There is often so much going on around us or in our day-to-day lives that we disconnect from our body, our thoughts, and emotions to such an extreme that when somebody asks, "How are you?" we automatically say, "I am well," regardless of our true feelings or whether we are physically well or not. To do this is an act of self-preservation and hides our vulnerability, our weariness, our dissatisfaction, and our disease from others. We may be afraid of being honest because to do so could reveal our weaknesses in a world where we must always be strong in order to survive and succeed. The sad truth is that we may not only be doing it in order to hide our true state from others, but to hide it from ourselves. The healing card symbolizes a need to reconnect and listen to what your body, mind, and feelings are telling you, to work with them instead of against them. Whether it be as simple as addressing a physical ailment or addressing that empty ache that comes from denying ourselves enjoyment and connection, this card signals that it is time to rip off the layers of illusion, the protective armor, and the masks, and look at what lies beneath. Now I have to jump in and say that reminds me of telling you, don't fight it when a moment of silence and peace invades your stream of entertainment and media flow. If you find you want to resist that moment very badly, try to be mindful enough, conscious of it enough, if you're lucky enough that happens, to ask yourself why. What don't you want to talk about with you? Because this is a case where I feel like I can safely say the truth is going to set you free. It's going to offer you this clarity I'm trying to point to here with the sun. It's just going to offer you clarity. It's not going to be it's a sad but true situation. It's going to be, oh my God, I avoided this truth so hard and it turns out it's beautiful. I love when that happens. Where were we? Are you fulfilled? Do you love your life? Are you happy? Or do you need everything that you strive for in order to be happy? Are you living a fulfilling life that you love, or are you simply enduring and dying a little more each and every day? The healing card brings with it questions like these. It also asks you to look at your life and determine whether your path heals you. Does your path heal you? Maybe you're healing others, offering something that you hope is healing to them, but does it heal you? Does it harm you? If it harms you, the healing card reminds you that it is in your power to change direction. This deck is all about, centers around our choice, which is the first card in the Dreams of Gaia deck. Centers around our ability to choose, to exercise our free will. So, I hope that offered an extra piece of advice for you there. I feel the biggest thing that stood out to me, or the thing that really was really illuminated there for me, is if you're hoping to offer something, a message, project that heals others, is your path healing you? It has to be healing to you too. You are one of us. one of us. You're one of us. If you are the healer, or fancy yourself in some type, you're the artist that's come out of this dark place. You've been through the healing. It doesn't mean your healing's done. It doesn't mean that you don't still need nourished day in and day out in a very real way that continues to heal your body, continues to heal your mind, body, and spirit, which are all as interconnected as all of us are, right? So I think we've taken this to an hour. I already told you lunaticstarot@gmail.com if you'd like a personal reading. And I'm probably forgetting just one thing, but that's okay. I'm sending you so much love, and I can't wait to do another reading for you.